This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, good morning. Any doubts from previous topics? So today we are going to start ABAP programming. As you know, ABAP is a high-level programming language and which is human readable format and fourth generation language. And to work with ABAP programming language, we need to learn few topics called keywords, literals, data objects, data types, constants, etc. So we will see so many different topics in ABAP programming, and these topics how you are good so that you can able to write ABAP programming efficiently. These are like foundation for the ABAP programming language. How a grammar is a foundation for English language. If a person learn grammar and then talk in English, how fluently he can speak. In the similar way, whatever we see here, these are the foundation for ABAP programming language. How efficiently you will learn. In that way, you can write the coding efficient manner. And also, as ABAP consultant, you have everyday challenges from the customers. So customers need different things from SAP ERP, and to achieve that, you have to use your knowledge, whatever you acquire from ABAP language. You have to think how this can be implemented, how this can be achieved using the language. So this will be possible whenever you have a strong foundation on the programming language. If you are unsure about the foundation, you are not good at the basics, then it will be very difficult to fulfill the customer needs. And also it is a kind of boring because you are going to learn a grammar in English. So you know how difficulty to learn a grammar. So we don't know why sometimes we were following that grammar statements because that is what it is designed. So in similar way in ABAP programming language also, when we are talking, we need to discuss about a few topics which you don't know why we are talking about that, and we must learn in that same way only. So, but I'll try to make it as engaged to give you a more detailed information about the programming basics. ABAP programming, where it is used to develop our SAP products. SAP company, they have used this programming language, and every product what SAP is designed, they are using ABAP programming language. So SAP proprietary programming language is ABAP. And now, for example, here if you see, this is Excel, right? This is an Excel application which is developed by Microsoft, and this Excel application which is designed using a language called VBScript. There is a programming language VBScript which they have used to develop this Excel application. And as a customer, I am using this, and when I am using, if I face any issues, I'll connect with Microsoft, and Microsoft we have this VBScript developers. They will help me to resolve problem in my Excel. And also how frequently we will face issues in Excel. Very rare scenario, because this is a well developed application, tested application, and which is given to every customers to use. So very rare people will have issues, or they will raise few concerns about the options what they have seen here. And that time, what will happen? The Microsoft development team who is working, so they will look into those issues. Similar way, our SAP ERP also a very established good product, and it is ready to use by our customers. When they were using, if they face any issues with your programming language, you are going to help them. To help, first you should understand the business, and second you should be very good at these basics, so that only you can able to support your customers. And also ABAPer role in an organization is a challenging role, and you will never get anything like uh, a fruit which is ready to eat. So you will be getting a requirement, and with your knowledge you have to gather things and then work. Sometimes few concepts you know, few concepts you don't know, but at that moment to satisfy customer needs, if you wanted to learn anything newly also, you are supposed to learn immediately and then fulfill the customer requirement. So you should be in that way. So the journey is a keep on learning journey. It is never ending. Every time, every day, it's like a new things we are going to learn. That's how SAP ABAP consultant role. Now coming to ABAP programming. So difficulty wise, this is not a very difficult programming, very easy programming, and we can easily understand. The first most advantage with this ABAP programming language is this ABAP programming language is not case sensitive language. So you can write in any format. And ABAP programming language, where we will write. So we will write this programming in a tool called ABAP Editor. We need a tool to write our code. So that tool is called ABAP Editor. Transaction code for that is SE38. When we write code in this Excel ABAP code, will this work? No. We need a ABAP engine where it will execute your code. So that engine will be available in SAP ABAP Editor, which is SE38. And same, which is also available in another platform called Eclipse. In Eclipse, you have ABAP development tools. In ABAP development tools also, our ABAP engine will be there. So here also you can go and write your ABAP code. And one more place is there, that is BTP Cloud, BTP ABAP Cloud. So in this place also you can write your code. First one is GUI editor, and second one is Eclipse ADT, and third one is ABAP Cloud. So these are the three areas where you can write your logic, SAP ABAP code. I'll show you this ABAP editor and Eclipse. BTP ABAP, when we are talking at that time, I'll discuss about this ABAP cloud related, where how we will write ABAP code. Now to access this ABAP editor, we need a GUI. So that will be look like this. If you have Microsoft Remote Desktop, it will be already installed in your machine. So this is GUI. From GUI, we will connect with our systems, development system, where ABAPers will connect and do the developments. Now here, transaction code for ABAP editor is SE38. By using SE38, we can create a program. So in this program, we can write our ABAP code. This is one place where you can write ABAP code and your ABAP engine will execute your ABAP code. And another place, Eclipse. Eclipse is a freely available tool, and this Eclipse, which is used by SAP when they introduced SAP S4 product in 2015. Before 2015, they were never used Eclipse. So they are using GUI application only, because GUI is a SAP software tool. SAP developed this tool. This is SAP proprietary tool. And after 2015, when they introduced SAP S4, there is a need of upgrading this GUI application also. But to upgrade GUI application, again, it's a very cost effective for them. So instead of coming with a new tool like GUI, what they have done, they have utilized this Eclipse platform, because Eclipse is a freely available software. So they have utilized this Eclipse platform, and then what they have done, they just created a layer called ABAP development tool layer. And in this ABAP development tool layer, we can go and write our code. This is 36. And here we can connect with our systems and we can write our programs. And this one also you don't need to install in your machines. Already it will be available in what is the remote desktop. If anybody wants to install in your personal machines, go through YouTube videos. Plenty of videos are there how to install Eclipse ADT platform. So you'll get details over there. And SAP, we can practice both either in Eclipse, ABAP programming. Either we can practice in Eclipse as well as in GUI. Both the tools we can use to learn ABAP programming language. And here, this is our server, and we can create any program here and new. Let me check other program. So select a ABAP program. Next. And here you can create your program G star. $TMP. So you will understand this later. Name of my program G Sanjay ABAP from Eclipse. This is a test program. Finish. So here, this is a place where you can go and write your code. And this is which is used to write our ABAP logic. So first what we will do, we will learn ABAP programming from editor, and then we will come to Eclipse, and one more place, BTP platform. So that is also we will connect from Eclipse. So why do we have two tools for single software S4 HANA? The main reason is SAP consultants, SAP people who are used to work with their software. So they are very comfortable with backend SAP system. So they are still using backend SAP, and then people who used to connect with Eclipse, they are also connecting and then using. And Eclipse platform configurations are not possible. Only that is available for ABAPers to develop the applications. And in Eclipse, many things are possible, and those are not possible in GUI level. So those things we will discuss in our coming further sessions. So right now we are talking about editor. So what is this editor? Editor is a tool where it connected to ABAP engine, where we can write our code, and that code will be executed by the system. And here, if you wanted to create a program, you wanted to write some logic, execute transaction SE38. ABAPers have very limited transactions, so you must remember these T codes, because in interviews they will ask, as a ABAPer, in your day-to-day activities, what are the normal T codes you will use? Could you please tell me few T codes? That's where you need to remember the T codes what we are talking right now. So this is ABAP editor, and if I wanted to write code, I need to create a program. To create a program, we have to write some name for the program, and this name we can write either using starting letter Y or Z. So why we have to use either Y or Z only? Because other naming from A to X, those are used by SAP for their developments. If you see here, this is a program which is developed by SAP, and this program they have developed for sales applications. And this program, if you see, it starts with S. So for already our software is a designed, pre-designed software. All the applications are already developed. SAP to develop, they have created so many programs, tables, everything, and they have used on their developments naming conventions from A to X. So A to X are reserved for only SAP. If you see any names between A to X, then it is a SAP created object, remember. And for our sake, customers requirements who is going to fulfill, that is ABAPers, right? So for SAP ABAPers sake, SAP they have asked us to use either Y or Z if you wanted to develop anything for our customer. Now I will use Y, 7 and Sanjay, ABAP program basics. This is my program name. Click on create. And why I have used this, because if I write in this way, then next time if I forget anything about my programs, simply I can search with this keyword Y7 Sanjay. In your case, you can use your name relevant. And here program name which will not allow spaces. So instead of spaces, you have to use underscore. Spaces are not allowed. So this you need to remember. And once you provided the name, click on create. And then it will ask you to provide the program purpose. That is what title. Why you wanted to create this program. This program to understand ABAP program basics. And type of the program. There are many different types are there. You will come to understand slowly. Now choose executable program. Executable program means you can write your code and execute and test your code within the same program. We don't need of any other programs. That is what executable program. And then click on save. Now when you are saving, I'll be using local object. Why I am using local object? Because we are in training server and we are never going to move this program what I am going to create from development to quality to production, because this is not going to use by end user. If end user wanted to use this program whatever you are creating, then you have to store it under a package. So this package in real-time projects your team leads will create and give it to you, and this is only one package will be created for in a project. And we will come to know this package related when we are talking about transport request, because when you use that package, system generate transport request, because your program whatever you are creating in development server, that has to be moved from development to quality to production in real time scenarios. That's where we need to enter package. And when we enter package, a transport request will generate, and using that transport request we can move our objects. But we are in training server, we are never going to transport any object, hence we will use local object. If you use local object, no transport request will be generated. So now I am in ABAP editor. You can see here my ABAP editor, which is having few lines automatically populated. In that line, few lines are in different color, which indicate what it is saying, that the colors whatever you see, these are called keywords. In ABAP editor, we have plenty of keywords like this, and each keyword has its own purpose. And here in this ABAP editor, report statement is mandatory. And report what it says, it's a keyword. The purpose of this statement is to, which is specifying to our system there is a program we are creating. This is what the program. And whatever you see without uh, star like this, then these are called original lines of code. When you have a star, this is commented code, and system will not read this code. This is not system point of view a original code. Whenever we have like this, at that time only system will read our code. ABAP engine will execute this code. And what we need to remember here, every line in ABAP editor must have a keyword. Without a keyword, we will never see any line. And every line inside our program must ends with period. So this is called period. This is very important. And in between one statement to another, you have a space. Space is mandatory. If you are not providing space, then system may not understand properly what is this line. So system point of view, it requires a keyword, and keyword which indicates what is the purpose of the particular line. So this report keyword system, when it reads, it understand, okay, user is going to create a report program. So that is what the purpose. But when you remove this space, system point of view, it is not able to identify keyword here because it is everything is connected now. It's a single line. And how do we get information like whether our code is properly written or any issues is when we write our code finally to validate we have to perform save, check, activate these three operations. When you do the check, what will happen? System, it uses a concept called interpreter, and this interpreter, it will read our code line by line, and if it finds any issue with a line, then it will mark it as in red color highlighting, and then says in the line 6 a statement for report is missing, or the statement whatever system is trying to read is a invalid, there might be a spelling issue, can you please check? That is what a clear message which a system is giving. And if you are not sure where this message, which line related system is talking, you simply click on that line number so that a cursor will go to that particular line where the related message you are getting. Now let me give some space. Now again save. Now this time when I do the check, I'll never get any issue. So if I remove this period, as I said, period also mandatory, right? Now save, check. Now you can see line number statement is not complete. Period is missing. So the beauty of SAP ABAP programming language is we have a beautiful tool, ABAP editor, and it has an interpreter to verify the code. And this interpreter, it will verify the code line by line. So after this line, if you have 10 lines of code, interpreter will never go to another lines because in this first line itself, there is a issue. So it will stop here itself until unless you clear this line issue, it will never go to the another line. That is what the beauty. In Java or any other platforms, if you have written 10 lines of code, all 10 lines will be executed, and then errors, whatever it finds in the 10 lines, it will propose. Sometimes what will happen, it will be a very difficult task to understand each all the errors and then fix it. But here in ABAP, we don't have that risk. Every line what you written from the starting to end, it will be executed one by one. It will be verified one by one. In any of the line you have issues, system will stop at that line itself until unless you fix that issue, it will never go to any other line. And you can see error messages which is mandatory to resolve. Those will be displayed in red color. When you see red color, which is indicating that it's a error, we cannot proceed with this. You have to fix this error. Now, message is also very clear. What is the error? Why we are getting error? System is trying to give a proper message always. And even though sometimes we were not able to understand, in that case, no need to worry. Just copy that message and then open any website and then just enter that message and write in SAP ABAP. So you'll get lot of threads related to that error, and in that especially look for the community website. As I told you in the beginning, community is like a Facebook for SAP consultants. Here all SAP consultants worldwide, they'll register, and if any person raised a concern, so someone raised a concern, and then whoever already experienced or whoever knows solution, they will respond back with their answers. So this is a beautiful platform. Every consultant must have an account. So if anybody not created, go and create one SAP account here and try to utilize the features from community network. And whenever you face any issues, don't stop it there. Try analyzing with that issue what happened first. Google it or search for any other sources. And first of all, most important thing is you have to clearly read the statement. Okay, what it is saying, trying to understand, that is more important. Don't panic whenever get any error. Don't panic. First try to read the statement. What is that error? Why it was populating? What I did the mistake? You need to self explore. So that is what you have to do, and utilize the any mediums which is available outside browser options. That is final thing. So now let me enter period and save, check, activate, enter, keyboard button. Now you can see we have successfully created a program, and this program status is active, which means this program now it is available in database. So now this program is available to write ABAP code. So this ABAP code, before we write, so first we will see some scenarios, and based on that we will go and write a coding here. Let's say I wanted to perform calculations, which means arithmetic operations. So there is a person A. He is a uneducated person. He don't know. He's never went to a school or something, so he don't know how to do these calculations and all. And there is another person B. He is an educated guy. He know how to perform these calculations. Now, person A running a business, and he wanted to calculate something. Okay, he wanted to add 100 and then 500. But this person don't know how to calculate this. Then what he is going to do? He will ask another person, right? The person who knows this mathematical calculations. What he will ask, boss, there is few numbers. Can you please add it and tell me what will be the final number from that? Then this person B, what he will expect from the person A is, what are those numbers? Because to add anything, we need numbers. If you are not providing any number and asking me to add, can I add it? No. So I need a input. So that input is required. So those are nothing but numbers here. 100, 500. These are the numbers. These are my inputs. So when person B knows in amount information, then what he will do? He will add 100 plus 500 where in his memory or any application like calculator, whatever it is using. So he will use that some memory. Let's say his brain is a memory. He will use it and then he will calculate 100 plus 500, which is 600, and that is what is output. Where this is in his brain, 600. After that, he will speak, and then a person A will come to know, okay, the value is 600, right? So why I am saying this? Because here, in place of person B, now we were talking to machine, and this machine knows ABAP language. Here, person B, he knows English language or any local what other person knows. So, because language is important, if this person B belongs to a China and you are talking in Telugu or you are talking in Hindi, whether this person will understand? No. You have to talk to him in his language, English. Then only he will understand and he will help you to perform this calculations. Similar way, now we were talking to machine instead of person, and this machine knows only ABAP language. Now I wanted to perform this addition operations with the machine. Then how can I talk to the machine? Machine we can talk to with their language, ABAP language. And by using this language, we will talk and then perform our operations. So for machine, first we have to provide the inputs, right? Because machine need inputs to calculate and provide the result. Now this inputs how machine is going to hold and how you are going to pass to the machine, and then machine how it will calculate and how it will provide the result. So that thing we will see in ABAP editor. Now here I wanted to speak to my machine computer which knows only ABAP programming language. Now I wanted to perform arithmetic calculations. So to perform arithmetic calculations, I know I have to provide inputs, and then I'll get the result. So input, let's say 4 and 5. These are my inputs. I wanted to add 4 and 5. Now how can I pass this input to my machine is, first of all, your machine need a data object to store the data. So here 4 and 5 we were passing. This information our machine has to store it. Where it will store? It will store in a data object. And how that data object will be created? This data object will be created with a statement called data. And before that, I'll give you syntax. What is data object? So here to hold inputs, we need a data object. And what is data object? Data object is a container which holds data at runtime. Like a human brain. So in your human brain, you are going to hold this information whenever anybody asks you to add 4 and 5. First, you'll keep these numbers in your in your brain, right? In the same way, machine also, it has to keep it. Where it will keep it? It will keep it in a data object. And this data object, it will store the data. So now how this data object we can create? We can create with a syntax data, data object, type, data type. This is syntax. Syntax for what? To create data object. And if you look at this syntax, there are some letters which are not in between angular brackets. There are some letters which are in angular brackets. The meaning what it is the one which are not there in angular brackets, those are keywords. And keyword you have to write as it is. You should not modify to any other value. Whatever it is there, you have to write it. Either you will write in uppercase, lowercase, that is your choice. System will understand. But name should be same. And whatever you have in between angular brackets, so those are changeable with our own naming convention. Whatever names we want, we can give that names. And you already know data type. So data type is what? Which explains type of data, what you are going to use. So we have so many data types which are provided. We have character, integer, numeric, many data types are there. Basically, data type is nothing but which explain what type of data you are going to store in your data object. If it is 4 and 5, these are called numbers, integers. Data type is I. So now we need data objects to store our inputs. So now let me create data object, data n1 type I. So this is a data object n1 created to store value 4. And if you look at here, I have used above syntax to create my data object. Data followed by data object and the type followed by data type. Here data type I have used integers because I wanted to store number 4 and 5. And you can use comments like this by providing star or double quotes. System point of view, these are comments. It will never execute this as a code. So after writing this code, I'll suggest you to do a pretty printer. What is this pretty printer is? We have some settings here in ABAP editor. If you go to utilities settings, there is a option called pretty printer. So here you have indent, convert uppercase keyword, some settings are there. So which is helpful to make our code looks beautiful and make our code aligned properly. So in your editor, if it is not enabled, you can go to your ABAP editor, Pretty Printer, and check this and select uppercase keyword because I wanted to showcase keywords and non-keywords. That's where I have selected make keyword as in uppercase and then continue after your settings when you write your code. So before save check activate, do pretty print. When you do pretty print, system it will arrange properly the code with this data type keywords in uppercase. So what is the purpose of keywords? Every keyword has its own purpose. What is the purpose of data keyword? Data keyword purpose is to create data object. Data is a keyword which is used to create data object. This is the purpose of data. And what is the purpose of type keyword? Type is a keyword which is used to assign data type to our data object. So that is the purpose of type. Now we have input one is ready. where system is ready to hold single input. Similar way, go and create another input, data n2 type I, because I need two data objects to store my inputs. N1 is one data object, N2 is another data object. Now, I wanted to pass data to this data object. If you wanted to pass data to data object, you have to use equal to operator. And remember, every time space is mandatory. Now I am passing value 4 to my data object N1. Similarly, I am passing value 5 to my data object N2. Now, in computer memory, now it has values 4 and 5. When you speak to a person where you are asking him to perform calculation, first he will be asking you to first give the numbers to calculate. When you provide numbers 4 and 5, other person he will keep that numbers in his mind and then he will start adding that numbers. So similar way now machine wanted to perform, so that for first machine we have provided numbers and now machine it created a data object in his machine memory, and it stores the values in the machine memory. Now to perform calculations we need a operation, that is what result is the operation n1 plus n2. Now here result is also a data object. How this data object will be created? With the data keyword. Data result type I. Now you have your result. And this result also in your brain only. So what you will do here, 4 plus 5, that is what? 9. This is your result. So always in programming, values assignments happen from left to right to left. So now our machine, now it knows what is the value of 4 and 5. But where this value? In computer memory. But I wanted to ask machine to speak out and then provide that value to me, because if it is having in his memory, I'm not able to understand. A person has to speak and provide, okay, 4 plus 5 is 9. That is the result. So system, how it will speak? It will speak with a keyword called write res. So here write is one more keyword which is used to display values of data objects. So what is the write keyword purpose? Write keyword which is used always to display values within data object. Now once we write the code, pretty print, save and do the check, no errors, activate and enter keyboard button. Now you can see your status is active. When you see the status is active, execute and see the result. This is 9. So what we understand here, ABAP editor is a tool. In ABAP editor tool, we will write code where system can understand this code, and this is the medium where we are talking to our machine computer. Why we need to talk to our machine? Because here we are dealing with a software ERP, which is pre-designed software. To support that software, we should understand how ABAP programming language works. For that, we created a simple application, arithmetic calculation application. So we were having a difference between like a machine and a man. If I wanted to ask a man to perform calculation, man will be expected numbers. Without giving the numbers, he cannot go and calculate. Now, similar way for machine also we have to provide the input. Now, the point here between man to machine, so man will collect numbers whenever you speak in his brain. Whenever I said 4 and 5 need to be added, first that number a man will he will keep it in his brain. But what about machine? Machine where it keeps its values. So machine is going to keep these values in the memory CPU layer level in a form of data objects. So that data objects we need to create. So those will be created using a keyword called data. And data keyword it will create the data object, and the type keyword it will assign memory it will assign data type to the data object, which means N1 data object only allows integer values. If you try to pass any other values, N1 data object will not accept. Similar way, I have created N2 because I wanted to pass number 5 and then result to capture the result operation. Now 4 plus 5 system calculated, and now it has value inside memory CPU level. But I wanted to take that out to see the result. Then bright is the keyword which is used to display the value from the memory. So if you look at this, whatever you see in upper cases, those are all keywords. Whatever you see in lower cases, those are all names. We can use it any number. So here I have used N1. In your case, you can use LV var1, LV var2, whatever it is you want. And this is a data type which integer I have used to calculate addition operation. Similar way, you can go and create the same application, same program by extending it to perform subtraction operation, multiplication operation, and division operation, and then see how you are able to write the code. So first thing is you need to always compare with a man. There is a work I wanted to ask that person to perform for me. Then what should I do? If the same work I am now giving to a machine, now I need to talk to machine. Now machine how it will understand. So that understanding when you have a difference between a man to machine, then coding will be very easy. It will not be a difficult task. And also there is a beautiful concept called debugging, which means I have written this code and system is executed line by line and then it has given me a result. But how system is processed and how system is able to create this data object, what are happening in the backend, how system is calculating, I wanted to know. Which it is like if a person calculated numbers and then he says result to you, then you are asking, you are going inside of his memory uh, and then checking what he was doing inside his brain. Is it possible? It is possible in coding way where it is possible to check in machine understanding. So how it is possible in machine way? So there is a concept called debugger where you wanted to stop the code, place the cursor and click on that debugger and execute. Now system what it does, wherever this debugger is there, breakpoint, we say it's a breakpoint. Wherever we have this breakpoint, system will stop over there and then it will never run this code. So from here onwards, that is your task to run the code. This is CPU level. We are in computer brain now. Now if you see in the global sections, you can see there are three variables are created. These are data objects. Variable is nothing but a data object. Three data objects are created. Each data object related data type, integer, integer, integer. So it is ready to hold integer values. Now we have N1, N2, res. These are all data objects ready to hold data. And I am passing value 4. So here we have options F5, F6, F8, F7, F8. You will come to understand slowly. For now, click on F5 or F6. I am using F5. Now you can see here memory is allocated with values. N1 memory allocated with 4, N2 memory allocated with 5. Now result operation it is doing F5. Now you can see result 4, 5 and 9. Where is this values now? In application, CPU memory level. But we cannot see CPU memory data. Like a man, he calculated and he kept result in his brain. We cannot see. He has to speak out, right? Similar way to speak, we have to provide write. Write is the one where system can speak and then provide the values. Now F6 or F5. When we are coming out from the core program, finally you click on F8. Then you can see the result operation. Similar way, go and extend this program for division operations, for multiplication operations, subtraction operations. Tomorrow we will continue and learn further topics in the above basics. I will be stopping with this today. Any doubts so far?
Thanks, Sanjay. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll try to make it as possible, as much as simple coding. Okay. If you are not able to understand, let me know. I'll dig deeper and make you a very clear understandable.
And this recording will be available, right, today?
I don't know immediately or maybe sometime later because the tool requires some time to convert and then bring the
Okay.
video. Most probably by tomorrow you will see this recording in the drive.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. If no questions, we can wind up for today. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Bye.